What's up YouTube? I'm Legacy and today we're going to talk about conspiracy theories. Number 5. The Nazis have an underground military base in Antarctica. In 1938, a ship called the Swaberland was sent to Antarctica to explore it. The ship was sent to explore the ocean to help with Germany's whaling industry. It was basically a big fancy photo-taking boat. Sounds convincing, right? 2 months after the Germans surrendered in 1945, rumors spread of Hitler and other high-ranking officials arriving in German U-boats in Argentinian waters, later arriving in Antarctica. A week later, a newspaper was written of detailed accounts of how Hitler and his high-ranking officials escaped. The story quickly spread all over the world. The commanders of the U-boats were all detained by the US and Argentinians and interrogated, but they could not prove anything, so they had to release them. Later, a detailed book arose from a witness. It stated that the U-boats and commanders were leading a convoy of submarines through the waters. Upon the Argentinians interacting with the U-boats, it gave the submarines a chance to escape, providing a decoy. The book claims that upon the arrival of the Schwabenland in 1938, a German Antarctic base was built. The base is said to be inland of about 200 miles underground in unmapped terrain, with a lot of the region being undocumented due to the Antarctic Treaty. The theory is that the base is still there to this day, containing cities, gardens, and research facilities. It is said that some of the research is still going on to this day, including super soldiers and a UFO testing facility. But what do you think? Number 4. Amelia Earhart was eaten by crabs. In 1940, on an island named Howland, a body was discovered. The remains found on the island are believed to have belonged to Amelia Earhart, who is famous for navigating the globe in an airplane in 1937. Shortly after disappearing over the Pacific Ocean, some theorists believe she crash-landed on this island, being pulled apart by the coconut crabs like a brisket. Okay, so like a coconut crab is like 3 feet long. Thing's huge. It climbs trees, it's got pinchers, and it's crazy. The pinchers have the strength of a lion's jaw. The crabs have an insane sense of smell and no personal boundaries whatsoever. Okay, in the same place that the remains were found, researchers threw out a pig carcass to see what the crabs would do when, meat was involved. It says that the crabs crawled out of the hole like dogs as soon as they smelled the meat and tore it apart. The theory is that Amelia Earhart crash-landed here wounded, and the crabs soon appeared, with the abnormally large tree-climbing crustaceans being the last thing that she saw. Number 3. The Time Cube. Okay, so in 1997 a webpage had went up, and on this webpage it was just like a single row of text, and it was only one page. That single row of text made the website extremely long. The guy that put up the website, his name was Otis Eugene Ray. He had claimed to be the wisest man on the earth. Otis passed away in March of 2015. The domain name for the website also expired in 2015. The Time Cube theory was last recorded in 2015 before the website domain had went down, with the website having a lifespan of 25 years. So all of the text on the website was written in one single line in different varieties of colors, fonts, and sizes. Finding a single passage was basically impossible without reading through the whole thing. On the website, he explained how all modern sciences were lying because they wouldn't include his theory into their teachings. Each day is actually 4 days simultaneously, not one. He uses different graphs to show how one day is actually equal to 4, with the 4 days being morning, early afternoon, late afternoon, and evening. So the theory goes that when the sun shines on the earth, 2 time points are created on different sides of the earth. These 2 time points being known as midday and midnight. And then when the 2 time points kind of like intersect with each other, they make the late afternoon and early afternoon. When these 2 time points collide together, they create 2 other time points that we know as sunup and sundown, which is basically morning and evening. He states that the time cube is imprinted on the circle of the earth in one complete rotation. So each time the time point rotates through the other 3, it creates 16 corners. How that makes sense, I have no idea. Somehow creating 96 hours or 4 simultaneous days happening in one rotation of the earth, equaling to a lifespan of a higher order. But what do you think? Number 2, the FBI is tracking Bigfoot. Everyone knows who Bigfoot is. You could put up a silhouette of the creature and people would automatically know who it is. For the oddballs out that don't know who Bigfoot is, he's a giant ape-like creature that kind of roams the countryside, mostly in North America. The East has a different version of him called the Yeti. He's known to like have super strength, come in at like 9 feet tall. He can pull full trees from the ground and chunk them. And who knows, the amount of sightings over the years could be due to many of the creatures. I mean, there might be more than one Bigfoot. Some people have caught the beast throwing rocks at them or stalking them from the bushes. Sasquatch hunters from all over the country have tried to catch him, but none have really been successful. But somehow we all still know that he's out there somewhere squatching. Although most of the people that hunt for Bigfoot are amateurs, some might not be so amateur. Some of the hunters might have the beast in their crosshairs at all time. Some believe that the FBI has been tracking the creature since the 1970s. Their investigation began in the 1970s after receiving a strand of hair from the creature. We now know, thanks to the Freedom of Research Act, which allows classified files that have been classified for a long time to be open to the public, the FBI did do a brief investigation into the beast in the 1970s. And you can still find those reports to this day. Where else but Twitter? On the FBI's official Twitter page, you can still find the documents to the Bigfoot investigation. The file is attached to one of their posts, being 22 pages long. According to the FBI, the animal hair that was tested was the hair of a deer. But I mean, would they really tell us the truth? I believe that the hair was in fact that of an unknown creature, and the FBI is still tracking the beast to this day, learning the habits and traits that have kept the beast hidden for so long. Some believe that the sightings of the beast are in connection with an underground cave system that runs under the United States. What do you believe? Number 1. Let's talk about psychoelectric weapons. Psychoelectric weapons, in simpler term, mind control weapons. So the theory is that the government has been working on a bunch of psychological weapons. The weapons being capable of mind control, mind reading, and mind torture. In 1953, the director of the CIA officially approved the Project MK Ultra. The US thought the Soviets were doing, so they wanted to try it too. They hoped to achieve this by the use of biological and chemical materials to alter human behavior. The CIA director Stansfield Turner testified to doing this in 1977. Reports emerged of the CIA using LSD as an experimental process with prisoners of war. Some think that the CIA is still doing experiments to this day and we just don't know it. Things like transmitting thoughts and sounds into other people's minds, with some psychological weapons being that of a small itch that doesn't go away as a form of torture, to displaying one's thoughts as a visible AI constructed picture, and others accounting of hallucinations being so vivid that the people had passed away. That's it for today, YouTube. Thanks for hanging out with me. Remember to live, laugh, and leave a legacy. And if you liked the video, leave a like. Thanks. Have a great day.